Hello everyone, welcome to week 5 of our 12 weeks of Christmas countdown. Today's project is super cute. Let me give you a little quick sneak peek of what we're making today. It is so adorable. These are the little K-cup holders that go in those little Keurig coffee machines. So that's what we're making. So we're making a little carrier for 2 of these, and I'm going to give you a few other suggestions of things that you can also do with this little box. So it's going to be really, really cute. So stick with me. We're going to make this. It's going to be so cute. All right, a few things before we get to our project. The Gifts Galore Paper Pumpkin Kit. This is going to be November's Paper Pumpkin. It's going to make 9 treat boxes, and it has 9 food safe bags. You get an exclusive stamp set. You get an ink spot. It's going to be adorable. This one I cannot wait for. I think it's going to be so cute. So if you want to make sure that you get November's Paper Pumpkin, you got to subscribe. A lot of times Paper Pumpkin kits sell out, and even when there are leftovers and they go up in the store, they sell out very quickly. So if you're not there to grab it immediately, you might miss it altogether. So if you want to guarantee that you're going to get this kit, make sure you subscribe. There's a link in the video description so you can subscribe. That way you always guarantee to get Paper Pumpkin kits. Now, if you want more kits, if you're already subscribed, but you're like, I need more of those boxes, you can always go log into your Paper Pumpkin account and up how many boxes you get. So if you want 3 boxes, you can just go in and up that Paper Pumpkin subscription and get as many boxes as you want. They'll all come to you. All right, on Tuesday, Eden's Garden launches. This is the Eden's Garden collection, and if you missed my Facebook Live on Wednesday on my business page, we made a gorgeous box featuring most of these products, and I go into all these products in a little more detail. I show you them all in a little more detail, so if you missed that Facebook Live, you can either scroll back and watch it on my YouTube channel, or it's on my business page. You can see it there. But I love these products. These are all available on Tuesday. You can buy them individually, or you can buy them as one big collection. The stamp set will carry over into the next catalog, the January through June mini catalog, but these 3 products, the papers and the gems, will only be available while supplies last. So if you love these products, don't wait to get them. These will only be available while supplies last. Now, I don't know what that means. That could mean a couple of weeks. That could mean a couple of months. I don't know, but don't wait to get them. All right, I do have a class to go right now. I have my card crate up for registration right now. This is November's card crate. We're featuring the Tidings and Trimmings bundle, and November's card crate will include 4 designs, but you're actually making 2 of each card, so you're going to make 8 cards total. So it's a great little stamp-a-stack for Christmas. If you want to make some Christmas cards, this is a great one to do. You can purchase card crate. You can get all those details in my video description. There's a link. I believe there's a link. I'll double check. There is a link in the video description. Card crate is $35. You get $20 in product, and it ships to your house for free. It's an amazing deal. So make sure you check that out if you love that bundle. All right, today, this is a stamp set we're using. We're using the Snowman Season Stamp Set. This is actually in our annual catalog. And I think some people forget that we have Christmas products in this catalog. So I wanted to pull this one out. I wanted to use this one and just remind you guys that there are Christmas products in this catalog, in the annual catalog. There's not a lot, but there are a few. This is the Tidings of Christmas suite. And we're using the paper and this bundle in my card crate that I just talked about. So there are Christmas sets in that annual catalog. Don't overlook them. So we are making this super cute little box. I love it. These are little Keurig cups like I talked about before. We're going to use some Christmas DSP from the mini catalog, and we're going to make this. So let's start with our box. We're going to start with the little box that these are going to go in. There are a few little pieces for this, but I think that they're all worth it, and it really makes the actual assembly go together easier. Not as much trimming or scoring by separating it into different pieces. Okay, so for the actual box, you're going to need a piece that is 7.5 by 5 1/4, and that means you can get 2 of these per cardstock, per sheet of cardstock. So on all 4 sides, you're just going to go around and score it at 1.5. So you're just going to score it 1.5, rotate, and go all the way around all 4 sides. And that's it. That is all the scoring for our box. All right, we're going to set this piece aside. We're going to come back and do the trimming on that in a minute. For the handle part, so for this little part that goes in the middle, this handle part, you're going to need another piece of cardstock that is, this is 10 1/4 by 2 1/8. And on the 10 1/4 inch side, we're going to score at 2 1/8, at 5 1/8, and at 8 1/8. All right, so we're going to set this aside, and that's all our scoring. So let's put our Simply Scored away. I'm gonna make sure I get that nice and secured so it doesn't come crashing down. One thing I want to make sure to point out, you guys, this is the last day for October's host code. So if you're watching this on October 31st, today's the last day to use that host code. Tomorrow there will be a brand new host code. I will be posting it on my social media, and it will also be on my blog tomorrow morning. So make sure that if you are ordering beyond October 31st, you make sure to check out that new November host code. All right, so all I'm doing is going through and burnishing on all the score lines. Now on our little handle one, on that skinny piece, we're just going to make like a little M or a W, however you want to look at it, a W or an M. You're just going to zigzag fold it, okay? Now this one we're actually going to set aside. We'll come back to this piece in a minute. This one, I went around with my bone folder, and we're going to do some trimming on this one. So on the long side, just cut up those score lines, and then we're just going to notch in, just like a regular box. We do this for every box that we make. We just notch in on those corners that are going to be glued. So this is pretty standard box making. All right, so you guys, it is Halloween. Does anybody have any spooky plans? The kids last year, because we didn't do anything last year. Last year we got some candy for the kids, and then they went out on the trampoline and we basically just threw candy and they had to catch it. And they loved that. I thought that was going to be like so cheesy. I was like, well, we still have to get them candy. Even though they can't go trick-or-treating, we'll still give them candy. And so we came up with this trampoline idea, and I thought last year, I was like, they're never going to go for this. This is so cheesy, but they loved it. So they actually asked to do it again this year. So they didn't want to dress up. They didn't want to go out. This is what we're doing. Okay. That is not going to play nice today. So we're going to get out our, let me find it. Where is it? Hold, please. Yeah, here it is. My roll of tear and tape is almost gone. I gotta get more out of my adhesive basket. But we're gonna do some tear and tape. You can use Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use liquid glue, whatever you want. But we're just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on all 4 of these tabs. So that's our plan this year. We're going to go throw candy at the kids on the trampoline again. That's what they wanted, so that's what we're gonna do. So you'll have to let me know if you have any big Halloween plans. All right, that is all of our adhesive. So we're just going to go through, peel off all of the backing on these. Man, my adhesive does not want to play nice today. All right, all the way around. I want to let you guys know that I am in the local Albuquerque area. So if you were in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, I do have an in-person class coming up in November. It's going to be November 13th, I think, the second Saturday of November. I think that's the 13th. And it's going to be a really fun class. We have 5 different cards we're going to make. So if you're in the Albuquerque area, if you want to get details on that in-person class, let me know. I'd love to have you at that class. All right, so I'm just going around assembling this box, just lining up the cut edge to the score lines. And you basically have your basic little box here. Okay, so that is, basic box. Now we're gonna really fancy it up. Okay, let's go back to our little liner piece here. So this piece is actually going to fit right in just like this, but we have to add a little holes first. And before we do that, we have to add our DSP. So let's get all of that done. I'm gonna grab my regular Stampin' Seal here. Now for my DSP pieces, I am getting 2 pieces that are 2 by 2 7/8. Let me show you the DSP that this is from. This is in the mini catalog. This is the Heartwarming Hugs Dsp. This is actually a carryover DSP. We had this one last year in the mini catalog, and it carried over, and I was so happy because this is one of my favorite DSPs. I just love these. I love these like classic Christmas patterns, but again, they don't have to be used for Christmas. You can use them all year long. But they are just really, really fun, really just Awesome, awesome, awesome patterns. I love them. Okay, so we are using 2 of this. We're going to use this side, the little plaid side. So I'm going to go through and just put some adhesive on these. And these are going to go in our 2 middle sections, just like this. Now there's going to be a small border around it. There's only going to be like 1/8 of an inch border around it. So just get those lined up as best as you can. And then we're going to do some die cutting. So let me grab my machine. We're going to use the big one today. I could grab my small one, I guess, but I planned on using my big cut and emboss machine. So you're going to need plates 1, 2, 3. You're going to need one of the clear plates for the bottom and one for the top. We are going to be using one of the layering circles dies. This is actually the second smallest, I believe. And we're going to start in one side. Actually, I'm going to fold it in half. It's not going to cut through all 4 layers, but it is going to help us out a little bit once we get to cutting that other side. So go ahead and tape this down. I'm using Post-it tape just to hold it down. And we're going to run this through. It is going to be a little tight because we're going through 4 layers, but remember, it's not going to cut all 4 of those layers. I'm going to come back this way. I'm going to just go back and forth. All right, so let's get that. Okay, let's get our Post-it tape off it. It's pretty tight. It just cut our Post-it tape in half, but that's okay. It's just Post-it tape. That's why we use it. All right, now you can see that it made that indentation, and that's going to be a really good indication for us on where to put that die. It's just going to kind of pop right into place. I'm going to use just a little bit to hold it down. It's going to just pop right into place so we know exactly that it's all lined up perfectly. Okay, just like that. And we're going to run this through. Now this time it's only going through 2 layers, so it's going to cut easily. And let's bring this back. Let me get my plates out of the way. Get my machine out of the way. All right, we're going to bring this in. All right, get all these pieces out of the way. And now when you fold it in half, those circles are going to line up perfectly, just like that, okay? Perfect. So now we're going to adhere this in here. But if you just adhere it just like this, the handle is pretty wobbly. And I didn't like that because it was very unsturdy. It wasn't sturdy. So we are going to put a little brace in. So I have a piece that is 3 1/4 by about 3/4 of an inch. And we're just going to adhere that in just like that. I'm going to adhere this whole thing closed with some liquid glue. This is just the Tombow liquid glue. Liquid glue will let me get real close to all these edges. So we're going to just stick this in. We're not going to score this piece at all. We're just going to kind of stick that in. And I'm doing it between the score line and the circle. A little bit more glue right there. And then we're just going to close this up just like that. We're going to give it a good little press. Make sure all of that glue adheres. And then we're just going to fold the little tab, one this way and one that way. And that's it. And then when it gets glued in, everything will get adhered and that will be nice and secure. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead with our liquid glue again on the bottom and then a little bit on each of these outside pieces. Now I'm actually going to kind of hold my box open. I'm going to kind of separate it a little bit just so that those these little side pieces don't get stuck down right away, because we want to be able to move it around just a little bit. So before those side pieces get in, just make sure this is nice and centered, and you can just press in those sides. And I like to just grab some little clothespins just to hold that in place. You can just press down just like that, and that will be your little carrier. Isn't that cute? And it's nice and secure. So this isn't going to go anywhere. We've added that brace. It's nice and secure. Now you could make the middle piece, you can score it differently. You can use a wider piece of paper, score and trim it differently, but I thought that the brace was just far easier and less waste of cardstock by just adding that one little piece of cardstock in to brace it. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for just a second, and let's work on the little tops of our little coffee pieces here. So I have die cut, I've done this in advance, I've die cut 2 of each of these pieces. These are from the Layering Circles dies. I have Pear Pizzazz, I have, I think this is the 3rd smallest one, and then I think the 2nd smallest scallop one, but you can layer them up as much as you want. This circle is the same size circle as what we just cut out, so you can use that one. So this is out of that same DSP, Pear Pizzazz, Mossy Meadow, and then from the Give It a Whirl dies, I have cut out 2 little hearts. Okay, so let's start assembling. So on top of the Pear Pizzazz ones, I'm going to do one-dimensional, and we're going to add those scalloped circles on top of that. Just like that. Okay. And we're just going to go in. I'm going to use my liquid glue because it's just easy. And we're going to put that Mossy Meadow DSP piece there. And then we're also going to just add that heart. And you can see I've used a different pattern for these hearts than I did for my sample ones here. This one I just went with the red and white stripe pattern. This one is more of a, I don't know, polka dot kind of pattern. This goes on there. And the heart. All right, we're going to set these aside to dry, and we're going to come back to our box, but these will be ready to go in just a minute. Okay, so let's come back to our box. We're going to wrap some DSP around. Now, the 12 by 12 piece of DSP would not be long enough to go all the way around, so we're going to use 2 different pieces of DSP. So we're going to put some glue on the back of these, and we're just going to put it all across the backs, and we're not going to worry about scoring or anything like that. I'm just using my Stampin' Seal, and then I do want to just go through and just do real close to the edges right here. Okay, so lots of glue on this. You can use the liquid glue as well if you're more comfortable with that, or even tear and tape. That would really hold. Okay, so I'm going to start on one of the ends, and we're just going to try to make it as straight as possible. And I'm only overlapping maybe like 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch at most. I'm going to move that out of the way before I sit my arm in it. And we're just going to wrap around. So I'm going to make sure that's nice and adhered. And we're just going to adhere as we go and wrap around just like this. Now these DSP pieces, I don't think I mentioned the size. These are 7 by 1 1/4 inch each. So now the reason I wrapped it this way was so that we would have a nice clean front this way. And so all of our extra pieces are going to hang off this way. This striped pattern is phenomenal though, because you can just line it up. You can see I can just line it up just like that, and you never even see where they stop and start. So I mean, that looks just like it's a continuous piece. So we're just going to keep wrapping around. Just fold this over, nice and snug, just keep it nice and straight. And then again, we'll just wrap it around, and you'll never know where they start and stop, okay? So just go through, you can go through each corner, just give it a little pinch, make sure that DSP is nice and wrapped, but that is our box. Isn't it cute? And this DSP is gorgeous. All right, I need to grab my ribbon. I didn't grab my ribbon down. We're gonna tie some ribbon around our box. This is the Real Red ruffled ribbon, I think. This is in the mini catalog as well. I love this ribbon. This ribbon is currently on back order, but you can still purchase it. I think the inventory report that I read this morning, I think it's going to be back by November 8th. So that's only like a week. So if you wanted to get it, you can still get it, and it would still be in time for Christmas, I believe. But I think that this ribbon is going to be great for like Valentine's Day as well. So I don't want my ribbon twisted. I have to start over. And I'm using way too much. Let me back it up a little bit. This is what happens when I try to tie on the spool. It's disastrous. Okay. We're going to have leftover ribbon, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to try to go close to this edge over here so that we leave room for our little stamped piece. So just wrap that around and tie your bow. You can use glue dots to hold your ribbon down if you want. I'm going to use dimensionals to hold it down once we put on our stamped piece, so I'm not too worried. I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm just going to trim that off. All right. I think that looks pretty good. So if you wanted to add some glue dots back here, you could. We're going to hold it in place in just a minute, though. Isn't that cute? Just like that. Oh, I love it. All right, let's work on our stamped piece here. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that, again, is used that layering circles dies as well as the white. And we are going to stamp our little snowman. We are using, again, I'll pull this out, we're using the Snowman Season stamp set. Now there is a punch. You can buy the coordinating punch that'll punch out the snowman, his arms, and the hat. So you can get that punch. They do not come bundled because this is an older stamp set, but you can get the punch separately. But we're going to use this little snowman who doesn't coordinate with the punch. And we're just going to stamp him on this little circle. Just like this. Your black memento. We're going to do some very quick coloring with the blends because he's a snowman, so we're not going to add too much color to him, but we're going to do a little bit of coloring. All right, so Stampin' Blends, pumpkin pie for his nose. This is dark pumpkin pie. I'm just coloring his little carrot nose. That's it. Smoky slate. This is light smoky slate, and I'm just going to color in his little coal buttons there. All right, now petal pink. This is dark petal pink, and we're just going to color in his little cheeks. This isn't going to add a whole lot of color, and this probably won't even be clear on the video, but it does add a little bit of color. All right, light pool party. I'm going to go in, and we're just going to shade his little body. We're not doing anything, no blending. I'm just going around doing the bottom of his feet, either side of his legs, either side of his belly, either side of his face. And then little snowballs down here. We're going to just add a little bit of color as well. And then we're going to take some dark pool party and just go under all of these just to add a little bit of a shadow. Just like that. Oh, and I did do a few little dark little spots just around there too. And if you wanted to go in with the light pool party and just add that little shading to all of these little snowballs, you can. But that's it. Super simple. No shading. That's all we did. But it's really going to add a lot to our little snowman circle, to our little snowman image anyway. All right, this is going to go right onto our mossy meadow piece. And we have one more little bit of stamping. While that dries, we're going to stamp the Let It Snow greeting. And that's from that same stamp set. I'm going to do this in real red to match our box. And then we're going to fussy cut this out. So you could use a different greeting. Let It Snow isn't necessarily a Christmas greeting per se, but I think a lot of people would enjoy snow on Christmas. I don't know that I'm one of those people. I'm not a fan of snow. I don't like the cold, so snow does not appeal to me. But this is you could easily change this greeting. So I'm just going real close to the letters, and I'm not going too detailed with it, just really going around the outside of everything. I'm going to cut off all this excess. We'll come back in and do that top in just a minute. When you're fussy cutting, make sure you're moving things with your non-dominant hand. You need to hold the scissors with your dominant hand and then move things around with your non-dominant hand. Okay. All right, just need to come in here and do this real quick. Normally I do all my fussy cutting in advance, but I thought you guys might want to see how I do it a couple of times. All right, that's it. Not too complicated. And if you didn't want to fussy cut it, you could always just stamp it onto a tag or something. That would be fine. Okay, let's start assembling these little things. Okay, so let's get our little K-cup holders. I have just some hot chocolate ones. These are just some little hot cocoa ones. I got these at my local Walmart. You know, you guys know where to find coffee. You guys know what these are. K-cup holders. These would be great for teachers. I know a lot of schools just have Keurig machines in their teacher's lounge, and then the teachers just bring in whatever coffee they want. And the same with offices too. I think that's how a lot of offices are now too. So we're just using a dimensional. Put that on the top. Just like that. Now I wanted to make sure that these were held in place. I didn't want them to kind of wiggle around and fall out. So we're going to turn this over, and we're actually going to add a dimensional to the bottom as well. This is an optional step, but I think it helps hold them in place. Keeps them nice and secure. Oops, got to take off the backing. So I think it's helpful. Now you do want to tell your recipients though to make sure that they remove the dimensionals from the top and the bottom before they use it. Okay, this is going to go in. Make sure your hearts are right side up. Just stick it down. That one little dimension on the bottom is going to hold the whole thing in place. Isn't that cute? All All right, let's get our little snowman on. I'm going to actually turn this sideways. Now, if you wanted to mix this up, if you wanted to make this holder maybe a fun adult treat, you could put maybe a hot cocoa or a coffee one on one side, and then maybe find a little bottle of maybe Bailey's or whiskey or something like that. A little travel size bottle. Put that on the other side. That would make a really fun adult treat. For kids, you can do one side with the hot chocolate, maybe a little cello bag with some marshmallows on the other side. I think that'd be really cute too. So lots of fun little options. You can always add on a lot to these. All right, dimensional on the right side of that greeting. Then on the left side, we're just going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive because this is going to overhang a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to set that down right over the ribbon, get that dimensional onto the box, and that adhesive onto the little snowman circle. Isn't that cute? And that's it. It's so cute, isn't it? I love this sweet little box. I think it is just the cutest little thing. And remember, you can customize it however you want. You can do, you know, double coffees, double hot chocolates. You can do some apple ciders, some teas, or do like, you know, hot chocolate marshmallows or hot chocolate and whiskey, whatever you want. So just, you know, you can really customize these to whatever you want, but I think this is just a super fun little toasty little gift you can give to any of your friends. All right, guys, so next week we are on week 6 of the Christmas countdown, and I picked up a lot of candy over the weekend at these I found at Walgreens. So you guys tell me, do you want to see something with the Reese's trees or something with the marshmallow Santa? So vote below. You can vote on YouTube or Facebook, wherever. I'll probably give you guys till like Tuesday to vote though, so I have time to plan and prep and everything. So vote below what you want to see. Remember, this host code is only good through today, November 1st, and we'll be brand new host codes. Make sure to check that out. If you're on Facebook, please like this video, share with your friends, and if you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to bring you new videos when I post them. All right, guys, that's it for me. I will be back on Wednesday in my business page, and actually I have another, this is a sneak peek, we're going to use another treat with those K-Cups, with these K-Cup holders, or little K-Cup cups, whatever you call them. All right, guys, I will see you guys on Wednesday in my business page and right here next week for week 5. Have a great week, guys. Bye.